rectilinear motion. In the previous video we have done different kinds of mathematical techniques and used it in different types of numericals, just like when I have to find out the instantaneous velocity at a particular point, we have to differentiate the equation of motion. When we have know the equation about the velocity, we have to find out displacement, then we have integrated it. And if I find out the instantaneous velocity from the equation of motion, then I just put the time at which I want the velocity. So these things we have done, we have dealt this type of problems in the previous video lecture, and now we will deal at different types of problems. Sometimes it is graphical, sometimes it is diagrammatical. Let us check it out. Now our problem is about two trains, and the separation between the two stations is fixed. Let us consider it is A and it is B. The separation between the two stations is fixed. Let us consider the train starts its journey from the station A. Okay, it moves a fraction of distance. We consider that is it moves the n1 fraction of total distance. If the total distance between the station A and B is d, if I consider, then it moves the distance n1d, and in that time its velocity is v1. Okay, now it moves the rest of the distance. We can say it is 1 minus n1. I can take it as n2. Then n2 into d distance it moves with the velocity v2. And one thing we should have considered, that n1 plus n2 should be equal to 1. Okay, now what is the time taken by the train in reaching from this point to this point? If I take this is the point P, from A to P, in going from A to B the train takes, basically the distance is then n1d and the velocity is v1. Similarly, in the next case, in going from P to B, the train takes n2d divided by v2. The average velocity, which is basically denoted by this VAVG, it is defined as the total distance divided by total time. Total distance divided by total time. What is this total distance? Total distance is obviously d, and the total time is basically t1 plus t2. So it is d divided by n1d v1 n2d v2. So if I do the calculation, it will become, d can be taken outside, so it will become n1 v2 n2 v1 v1 v2. Now these two d cancels out, and obviously it becomes v1 v2 divided by n1 v2 plus n2 v1. So the product of the two velocities divided by n1, which is the velocity of this from A to P, the velocity is of from P to B, and n2 is the fraction from P to B, but v1 is the velocity of this A to P. So the opposite products, and after the sum. So this is basically the formula of the generalized formula of finding the A average of this type of problems. Now let us take a problem. If a car covers, the total distance is this. If a car covers 2/5 of the total distance with an velocity v1 and 3/5 of the total distance with the velocity v2. Okay, 2/5 of the total distance, that is from, we can consider from here to here with the velocity v1, and 3/5 of the total distance with the velocity v2. Then the v average, according to this formula, that is v1 into v2, product of the two velocities. Here we need not to consider sign and the direction. So V1 into V2, and it will be, when I writing 2 by 5, at a time just cross 2 by 5 into V2 plus 3 by 5 into V1, 3 by 5 into V1. So this is the thing. So after that calculations, it becomes 5 V1 V2 divided by 2 V2 plus 3 V1. Let us take another example. One car moving on a straight road covers 1/3 of the distance with the speed 20 km per hour and 2/3 of the distance with the speed 60 km per hour. If it is, then find out the average speed. Then the average speed V average is equal to, obviously, the product of the two velocities, that is 20 and 60, divided by 1/3 into 60. We have to cross 1/3 into 60 plus 2/3 into 20, 2/3 into 20. So this is the thing. So it will be 20 into 60 divided by 60 plus 2 into 20, the calculation. So it will be 1200, 60 plus 40. 60 plus 40 is 100. So this will become 12 km per hour. This is the average speed in moving this total path. Now I am discussing the questions of IIT 1974. In IIT 1974, on this topic a question comes: a car moves 1/2 of the total distance, 1/2 of the total distance or half of the distance with the velocity 40 and rest of the distance with the velocity 60 km per hour and 40 km per hour, these two velocities. So at that time it is evident that the formula then becomes almost easy, that is V1 into V2 divided by 1 by 2 into V1 plus 1 by 2 into V2. Then you can see the formula becomes 2 V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. So it will become 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. So 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 100. So these two zeros cancelled out. So 4 into 2 is 8. 8 into 6 is 48 km per hour. One thing I want to tell you, the formula I am discussing, that is the formula finding average velocity, but I have not given the vector sign here because the particle is moving along the straight line. So if the particle is moving along the straight line, then the magnitude of the velocity and the speed is basically the same thing. So basically this formula is applied for in case of speed also. Next, we take a question of JEE 1985. The question asked: a person covers half of its destination, this is the total destination, he covers half of his destination, that is the path, with the speed 25 miles per hour, and you have to find out the velocity in the rest of the path, so that the average velocity, you can see speed also, average speed is 32 miles per hour. So this is the question. So obviously rest of the path is half or 1 by 2. So we can easily find out the formula V average equal to 2 into 24 into 32 divided by 24 plus 32, because it is half and half. So it will be 2 into 24 into 32 divided by 4 plus 2 6, 3 plus 2 5. So 8 3s are 24, 8 7s are 56. So it will be 6 into 32. 6 into 32 is 6 into 2 is 32 is 6 to 12, and 6 3 8 192 divided by 7, and it will be 7 2 is 14 and 7 7 is 49. So it will be 3 by 7 mile per hour. Next question is, a train runs in two stations. When it is moving from one station to the next station, its speed is 70 km per hour. That is in moving from, consider from A to B. And when it is returning back from B to A, at the time speed is 50 km per hour. So now the fraction n1 and n2 I have considered at there, that is V average, the velocity average is v1 v2 divided by n1 v2 plus n2 v1, that it is a total fraction now. Now n1 equal to also 1 and n2 equal to also 1. So the V average equal to v1 v2 divided by n1 v2 plus n2 v1. Both n1 and n2 are 1 here, because a to b total path, b to a total path. So this will become 70 into 50 divided by 50 returning into, in time of going, 70. So it will be 70 into 50 divided by 70 plus 50 is 120. So 0 and 0 cancels out, and after that it will be, the calculation remains, that is 350 divided by 12. So if I just cut this thing, it will become 175 divided by 6. So it will become 6 2 is 12, 6 2 is 12, 6 9 is 54, 29 whole 1 by 6 kilometer per hour. Now just see, the next question is something like that. A moving particle is moving from one position to another position. That is the two positions, A and B. Now in moving from A to B, it covers half of the total distance with the velocity v1, with the uniform velocity v1. Now the rest of the path it covers in a different way. The time taken by the rest of the path, that is the total time taken by the rest of the path, let us say the total time taken by the rest of the path is t2, and the total time taken in covering the first half of is t1. Now if the total time is t2, then t2 by 2, that is half of the rest of the time, is moving with the velocity v2, and the rest of the time is moving with the velocity v3. So obviously v2 and v3 velocities are same. So if I try to denote it, it is something like this, that is t2 by 2. This time the person is moving with the velocity v2, and the rest of the t2 by 2 distance he is moving with the velocity v3. So this is the total fact. So the V average. What is the V average? The V average is basically the total distance. We take the total distance is d. Okay. But for the first case, if I want to find out what is the time taken by him, the time taken by him is basically d by 2 divided by v1, because he is moving half of the path with the velocity v1, and the rest of the path is dy 2 remains, but this dy 2 path he moves in a different way. That is, he takes t2 by 2 time. Let us consider from here to here the distance is d prime. So, and the rest of the distance is d by 2 minus d prime. So you can say this d prime path he is moving with the velocity v2, and in moving this path the time taken by him is t2 by 2. So you can say that is d prime equal to t2 by d prime divided by v2, and this rest of the part, the third section, that is t2 divided by 2, that is equal to d by 2 minus d prime divided by v3. So this is the thing. So from here, if we try to equate these two equations, this is the equation 2 I consider, this is the equation 1, and this is the equation 3. So if I want to find out d prime from here, then d prime divided by v2 equal to d by 2 minus d prime divided by v3. This is like this. It is something like equation, but the v average, if I want to point in this equation, then it will be d divided by t1 plus t2. Now the first section is covered with the time t1, and the second section is covered with the time t by 2, and the third section this is covered with the time t2 divided by 2. So for the first section the velocity is d by 2 divided by v1, but for the second section and third section d prime is the unknown quantity. So if I try to find it in terms of it, so we can say v3 d prime v2 d by 2 minus v2 d prime. So this will become v3 plus v2 d prime is equal to v2 d by 2. So if I say what is d prime, so d prime will be v2 divided by 2 v2 plus v3 into d. So this is the thing. So if I replace it here, that is for the second section, replace it here, that the value of d prime is v2 into d divided by 2 v2 plus v3, that is divided by v2, and in case of here d2 by 2 minus d prime. So if I want to find out this thing, that is d by 2 minus d prime, then it will be, if I take d by 2 as common, it will be 1 minus of v2 divided by v2 plus v3. So this thing will becomes d by 2 into v3 divided by v2 plus v3. So if I put this distance d2 by d prime, that is calculated here, that is d by 2 v3 v2 plus v3 divided by v3, then the equation simplifies and becomes d. If I take this d common, it will be 1 divided by 2 v1 plus 1 divided by 2 V2 plus V3, because these V2 and these V2 cancels out and D is taken common outside. Here also the D is taken common outside, V3 and V3 cancels out, so it will become 1 divided by V2 plus V3. Obviously 2 is here. So D and D cancels out. So from here it is V1 into V2 plus V3. This is the LCM and this thing is 2 times. So we can say this is 2V1 plus V2 plus V3. So if I make the reciprocal, and this will be the answer, that is V1 into V2 plus V3 divided by V2 plus V3 plus 2V1, that is the average velocity. So again repeat the question. The first half of the distance path is covered with the velocity V1. The second path, in covering the second half of the distance, at that time the total time is taken by the person is T2. So he moves first half of this T2 with the speed V2 and the second half of T2 with the speed V3. Now I am calculating the average velocity, and this is the expression of the average velocity. Now the questions we are going to discuss, that is about the Tripura JEE. In Tripura JEE, these questions comes in the year 1996. Now what is the question? The question is that there are 2 stations. Question is something like that. There is a 2 stations A and B. 2 trains starting from both of the stations. Let us consider it is the train 1 and it is the train 2. So 2 trains are starting from the stations A and B, and velocity of them is respectively U1 and U2, respectively E1 and U2. When they are moving with the velocity U1 and U2, obviously they are approaching towards each other, and obviously let us consider somehow here they meet each other, and after that the train 2, which is originated from the station B, it reaches here, train 2 reaches here and reaches the station A, and train A, which is originated from the starting its journey from the station A, it reaches at this point B. Okay, so repeat again. A train from the station A with the velocity E1, that is a train 1 starting from A, try to reach the B, and another thing with the velocity U2 from the station B, try to reach A. So this is the scenario. Somehow here at the point B they meet, and after that they reach here. The train 2 starting from B reach the station A, and the train 1 starting from A reach the station B. So this is the scenario. So now it is said the time taken by after meeting time taken by it is T2, and the time taken by it is T1. So this is the scenario. Now you have to prove that E1 is to U2 equal to root over of T1 is to root over of T2. Sorry, root over of T2 is to root over of T1, inverse ratio. So now just let us consider, after starting the journey, after starting 1 and 2, that is the 2 trains here, 1 and 2, that is 2 trains here, reach capital P at T. Okay, so in the meantime the train which is starting from A, it reaches the P, So it covers the distance AP, and that is U1 into T. And the train which is starting from B, it reaches the P, so it covering the distance BP, so it will be U2 into T. So if I take the ratio of these two, AP divided by BP, so obviously time will be cancelled out and it will become U1 by U2, that is our first equation. So after meeting, in reaching from P to B, PB, in reaching from P to B by the train A, by the train starting from 1, it takes the time T1. So obviously PB equal to U1 T1, and the train which is starting from B with the velocity U2, it takes, after meeting, it takes the time T2. So you can say PA is basically U2 into T2. Okay, so if now I just try to find this PA divided by PB here. PA divided by PB. What is PA? PA is this thing, U2 into T2. U2 into T2. And what is this? It is E1 into T1. Okay. Now PA and AP, that is PA and AP, this is basically the same thing. The PA and AP, they are basically the same thing geometrically. So we can say these two are equal. If these two are equal, then it will become U1 divided by U2, and here it becomes U2 T2 divided by U1 T1. Just see, it just goes with the cross multiplication, it becomes E1 square, and it down, so it will be numerator denominator, so it will U2 square, and it will become T2 divided by T1. So U1 divided by U2 equal to root over of T2 divided by root over of T1. So this gives U1 is to U2 equal to root over of T2 is to root over of T1. So what do you want to prove? What we have to show? We have seen this thing. Now this question that I am going to discuss now, this question is asked in IIT 1976. The question is something like that: due to the action of a force, a particle is moving one dimensionally, and its equation of motion is T equal to root over of x plus 3. This is the equation of motion of the particle which is performing the one dimensional motion. You have to calculate the displacement. You have to calculate the displacement when velocity is 0. When the velocity is 0. Now from this equation, what we can do? T equal to root over of x plus 3. So you have to find out the velocity first. So x root over of x equal to t minus 3. So x equal to t minus 3 whole square. So it will become t square minus of 60 plus of 9. So dx dt, that is the velocity, dx dt, t square after differentiation becomes 2t. 60 means as it is, t after differentiation become 1, and 9 is a constant, so it becomes 0. So when the velocity is 0, that is dx dt is 0, then 2t minus 6 should be 0, and from it t equal to 3 seconds. So if I put this in the equation that is here, that is the displacement from the reference point, it is 3 square minus 6 into 3 plus 9. So it will be 9 minus 18. 9 minus 18 plus 9. Displacement is 0. The displacement is 0. So from here, what is implications we get? That when the velocity is 0, at that time the displacement is also 0. If the position of a particle changes with time, then we can draw two types of plotting. One type of plotting is called the displacement versus time plotting. Displacement is here, displacement by time plotting, very significant plotting. And another type of plotting is called the velocity versus time plotting. So what is the significance of this? Let us consider the plotting is something like that, that is, it is like this. So what is the meaning of this? With the increasing time, the displacement is increasing. Now if I want to find, then we have to consider a point and we have to consider a tangent. So there will be intersection. There is a very small triangle I have drawn. On this tangent I have drawn a triangle. Let us consider it is the del S and it is the del T. So at that particular instant, if I want to find out the velocity, then the velocity is del S divided by del T. And obviously as that time goes on, if I try to draw the tangent here, then you see this is the tangent and this is the triangle. So the del S increases and del T decreases. So del S by del T, this ratio is increasing. So as the time goes on, the velocity is increasing. So if the slope is like this, the velocity is increasing. So if I plot this S versus T curve, and if I say now the curve is this, then wherever I want to take the slope, I have to draw the tangent. Wherever I want to take the slope, the same triangles forms everywhere. So del S and del T, that is taken each and every point on this curve, that is same. So we can say it is the particle or object is moving with the uniform velocity. Now if I say this is the S versus T curve, this is the S versus T curve, this T and this is the S, and if it is coming just like this, then just think, if I take this point, then this is the thing and this is the del S and this is the del T, but the del S in the reverse direction. So you can say the velocity that we have considered here, it is somehow it is minus del S. If I take this is the plus del S around the positive direction of the displacement representing axis, then it will be in the downward direction. So you can say this basically says about the velocity which is negative. So it is the increasing slope, increasing, then it is the constant or uniform, and it is decreasing. The slope of the curve tells us about gives the information about the velocity. Now if I say this thing, if I say the curve is something like this, so if I calculate the area of this, just like the area of this thing, it is the A and B point. The curve that defines the straight line, that is A and B. So if I try to calculate the area under this curve, what this area under this curve gives, it is basically the multiplications of the variable along the y-axis and the variable along the x-axis. So velocity into time, what is basically gives? It basically gives the displacement. Now it is the mathematical technique. We just divide this area in terms of our non-geometrical figures, that is, it is our triangle and this is a rectangle. We will deal out different types of problems here, and you'll see how these things are applied there. But two things: the slope of this S versus T curve gives the velocity, and the area of this V versus T curve gives the displacement. So here it is basically the displacement versus time curve. So here the displacement is just like increasing with time, and after that it becomes constant. So what is the nature of the velocity versus time curve? Before this, we have tried to understand it from linguistically. We have tried to understand the physical significance of this curve. That is, here the displacement with time is increasing. So it is the increasing slope. So it basically shows the increasing velocity. That is the velocity is increasing. After that, the displacement becomes constant or parallel to that of the time axis. The separation from the time axis is not changing. So you can say the displacement is 0 here, because the slope is 0. If I take any slope, then the del S will be 0 here. So the slope is 0. Since the slope is 0, you can say the velocity is 0 here. So if I want to show this in this curve, that is t equal to t1, from t equal to 0 to t equal to t1, the velocity is continuously increasing. T equal to 0 to t equal to t1. After t1 equal to t1 to infinity, that is the at a time greater than infinity, the displacement is not changing, the velocity is 0. The curve is like this. So this is the nature of the velocity versus time curve. Now let us consider the next problem. This is the thing. You have to find out the average velocity from this curve in between t equal to 10 second to t equal to 40 second. The scaling is done here, and here also the scaling is done. So from 0 to 20 second, the velocity is 20. 20 to 30 second, the velocity remains at 20. From 30 to 40 second, the velocity increases from 20 to 60. So you have to think up to the 40 second. So average velocity, if I say the V average equal to the total displacement divided by time. So how we can calculate the displacement? From the velocity or time curve, if I calculate the area, then we can get the displacement. So if I want to calculate this area, then it is a triangle. Its height is 20 and its base is 20. So it is a triangle, so height is 20 and the base is 20. I am applying the area of the triangle is half into base into the height. Now it is a rectangle. Now the time interval in this is 20 to 30. So it is 10, and the time is, and the length here it is 20. So it is 10 and it is 20. So plus 10 into 20. After that, I am considering this section. In this section, this trapezium can be considered as a combination of two geometrical figures. It is a triangle. And this thing is the rectangle. This thing is again a rectangle. So this length is 20, this length is 10. So we can consider this separately, that is 20 into 10. I put it in the second bracket, and for this triangle it will be from 20 to 60. So it will be 40 basically. So we can say the height is 40. And what is the base? The base is 10. Now the time is from 0 to 40. So this is the time. So if I calculate this thing, we will get the average velocity. So it is half into 10. So it is 10 into 20. 10 into 20 is 200. Here is also 200. And here is also 200, plus here is 2, it is 20, 20 plus 100, 20 plus 10, that is 200 again, so divided by 4, 40. So 200 plus 200, 400 plus 600 plus 800. 800 divided by 40, it is 20 meter per second. So this is the average velocity. Now if I look at this, that is the calculated displacement. It is again the velocity versus time curve, but here this thing is on the positive half of the axis, but this thing is on the negative half of the axis. So we have to deal with this. So displacement is basically, we have to calculate the area here. If I calculate the area, we will get the displacement from the velocity versus time curve. So at first we take this thing. This is a triangle. Its base is 1 and the height is 4. So 1 by 2 into 1 into 4. Now I take this rectangle. From here to here, it is 1 to 2.5. So it will be 1.5 into this 0 to 4, that is 4, plus from here to here, it is again a triangle from 2.5 to 4, 2.5 to 4, that is 0.5 here and plus 1, 1.5, and this is the 4. So it is 4 into 1.5. Now if I consider this thing from 3.5 to 4, it is 0.5 and this thing is minus 2. So this thing is minus 2 here, the negative half, minus 2 into 0.5 or 1 by 2. Now from here to here, here is 4.5, here is 4.5, it is 7.5, so it is 3. From here to here it is 3, and if I want to find out that this triangle, this is minus 2 into 3 plus, and this thing is again from 7.5 to 8, that is again a triangle, so 1 by 2. From to here to here it is 1 by 2 again, point half, and this thing is the height is basically minus 2. So if I calculate this thing, this will be 2, 1.5 into 4, that is 6, 1.5 into 4, that is 6, and here it is 2, and it becomes 2 and 2 cancel out, so it becomes minus half, it becomes minus 6, and it becomes 1 by 2 cancels out, so it becomes again minus half. So minus half minus 1, and this minus is cancels out with plus 6. So 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 and minus half, that is area is 7 meter, and this is the displacement here. So we'll see another several types of graphical problems in the next video lecture, and in this video lecture we have understood how to deal with this. We have to calculate the slope to find out the velocity of the displacement versus time graph, and we have to find out the displacement from the velocity versus time graph. At that time we have to calculate the area of it. Thank you.